I don't remember how we opened this thing. I think I yelled like, "Oh yeah," or something like that.
That's why we love comics.
No, I think that's how we ended. I guess we're done. Now, welcome to the BSI Comics Vodcast. It's been a while. I'm your host, Adam.
Fletch.
And we're here to talk to you about news and junk.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff's happening.
Yeah, we haven't recorded in a couple weeks. You know, we did have an interview with director Zach Knutson, and you couldn't be on that because you were busy clerking, representing the brand.
Tag team and being sick in between that.
I could hear you on there, though, in the background.
Right.
So, yes, he is sick, so he's not being rude. He's sucking on a lozenge. Which sounds grosser than it is. Anyway. So,
what we got going on?
We got a little bit of news. So, I guess we'll start off with, we finally get a proper trailer for Rogue One. The previous one was technically a teaser. Pretty good. I mean, there's really nothing bad in it at all. I think I'm just kind of burnt out on a lot of these movies, these blockbusters these days. You know, our friend Hunter was talking about, like, he doesn't know what he's more excited for, Rogue One or Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the trailer of which dropped at San Diego a couple of weeks ago. And I love both of the trailers, but I'm just like, I'll watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm going to watch them both, but I hate this culture we're in where it's like, we're going to drop the snippet, then this is the teaser to the teaser. Then this is the teaser trailer to the... Like, we were watching the Olympics, and during the Olympics, they kept advertising, teasing the trailer. They'd show, like, the Star Wars ad, and it was like, this is a teaser for the full trailer. It's like, just show me the trailer.
Yeah, I think they're just burning people out.
You can have different versions of the trailer, sure, but come on.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think a good... and honestly, to tell you the truth, if they had just stuck with that teaser... I think it would have been fine. I think that teaser...
Teaser was fantastic.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think there was... Yeah, I think the regular trailer was great, too. But again, I think I'm just... You know, it's like my pleasure centers are burnt out from...
That we watched the teaser, it set the tone.
Right.
Excited about it, it's great.
But look, I mean, it's a weird movie because there's not a whole lot that they can sort of reveal. There's characters that in there that you don't know.
I can't get any more excited about it.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, I kind of wish they hadn't gone with anyone famous, because that is sort of the tone of the movie, is, like, Alan Tudyk's in it, but he plays a robot, and you probably wouldn't even know it was Alan Tudyk, because he's doing a voice, but so there's really no one famous in the movie, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's Ghost Dog. Alright.
I don't know how many people are going to say there's Ghost Dog, but...
Everyone's going to say there's Ghost Dog. Are you kidding me? Forrest Whitaker's biggest movie, Ghost Dog?
Would you rather Ghost Dad?
Yes. Absolutely. Bill Cosby should totally be in this movie. And no, I'm not cutting that either.
Why would you cut that?
No, but like I said, good trailer. But there's, again, it's an interesting movie because essentially we know how it ends.
Right.
We just don't know how we're going to get there. But bizarrely, at the same time, I've always said part of the reason I'm more excited for Rogue One than I was for Episode 7 was because this is a movie they can really take some chances with. Because at the end of the day, they can go for broke because, spoiler alert, all the characters were probably dead at the end of this movie.
There's nothing they need to keep open for another movie.
I mean, it's possible the chick will survive. Well, I'm not sure who it is, but I like her. She seems pretty cool. You know, there's definitely a little bit of a Jennifer Lawrence, what is it, Mockingbird? What is that book?
Yeah, man, she rebels. That's what she does.
So, good stuff, Rogue One. You know, if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely check it out.
She might make it through and be part of the Rebel Legion.
Speaking of things I should cut out. Well, if you didn't like my earlier comment, wait till we talk about the gay ray.
We've talked about this stuff in the past. I mean,
well, this one offends me personally. Like, it does and it doesn't.
As soon as I read it, I was like, he's not going to be happy with this.
So, CW has their own digital network called CW Seed, And they've used that in the past. They did a cartoon for a character called Vixen, who has had some previous, she was featured in Justice League Unlimited, and I think a couple of other places. And so they had this cartoon that they also used the voice actress who looks just like the cartoon version of Vixen in the Arrowverse, and because I think is that what they're calling the TV?
I believe
the
so.
Arrowverse. But so they're doing another CWC DC Comics spinoff, which I think this one's live action, right?
I believe so.
Pretty sure this one's live action. So they're using a character that most people won't be that familiar with, unless you're seriously a long-time comics fan, which is the Ray. And the Ray is one of the characters that DC picked up, kind of like Captain Marvel that they call Shazam now. Also the Charlton characters, which constitutes Captain Atom, Blue Beetle, characters like that. So
excuse me.
So no problem. So the Ray is part of a staple of characters from, I believe it's Quality Comics, called the Freedom Fighters, and one of them is literally a character named Uncle Sam, who's supposedly the spirit of the American people or something like that.
BRB dying. Uncle Sam is fantastic.
It's a pretty interesting concept. So they got the other famous character from it is Black Condor, even though he's not that famous either. But
didn't they do a launch with them in New 52?
I believe they did.
Right.
And those characters also appeared in the Convergence.
Mm-hmm.
They had their own universe, Nazi universe. But anyway, which actually is worth referencing because, well, back it up. So the Ray's most popular incarnation was during the 90s. There was a run from a fantastic writer named Christopher Priest and an artist
who's working on the new Deathstroke.
Yes, that which just came out this week.
Correct.
And it was launched by, well, actually it was originally launched by Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada, who of course went on to run Marvel Comics. And that was a miniseries, and then they did an ongoing series based on that, which was Christopher Priest and Howard Porter, who's a very famous artist now. Obviously, he did one of the greatest runs of Justice League of America of all time with Grant Morrison, and he's working on Scooby-Doo now. So, I am a huge fan of the Ray. That's one of the comics that got me into DC because I was a Marvel kid. I was all X-Men and Spider-Man and that kind of stuff. And some of DC's younger characters brought me in. Of note, the Ray, Superboy, the Robin, Starman sort of, although he's not necessarily considered a DC young character.
Not the mainstream characters.
Right.
Right.
So, love that book up until it ended, which I believe it ended around issue 50. And it's one of those books that I've always wanted to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And when the New 52 happened, it was sort of brought back. The name The Ray was brought back. The Ray was one of those characters where they figured, who cares? Well, some people did care.
Right.
So let's play with it. So they came up with a new version of the Ray. That was it was a Jimmy Palmiotti book. I think him and Justin Gray, who did All Star Western and a few other books. And obviously Jimmy Palmiotti is a great creator who's done a bunch of amazing stuff. And I won't even say it was a bad book, but they came up with a new version of the Ray that was completely different, and I wasn't interested at all. So when you tell me that they're going to do the Ray, but it's not going to be the Ray that I grew up with, the one that actually has fans. Instead, it is a apparently Grant Morrison created version from the Nazi world. How do you explain that? It's one of the 52 worlds in the DC universe, and there's one where the Nazis won. So the Freedom Fighters are the primary antagonists, and so the Ray is going to be the gay character from that. Now, I don't really care so much that they want to do a show with a gay character. That's fine. But it just offends me. As a fan, as someone who supported those comics with my money.
Right.
Now, granted, even if they did my version of the Ray, the terrible version, it's not going to be written by Christopher Priest. It'll probably be a different character no matter what.
Right.
But I don't. Again, I don't care. Like, go ahead and make a gay character for the Arrowverse. That's fine. And I understand there's going to be another one of the cast members of one of the 4 shows that they have now is going to turn out to be gay or something like that. They just announced that. Okay, whatever. Like, but I don't know. It's not like I'm gonna go rage. I'm not gonna go write letters to change.org or something like that. But again, long-term fan. Missed that series.
It's the character you really care about,
right? And to see it changed
not the version.
Yeah. So I don't know who this is for.
It's kind of like we were talking about. They announced there's going to be, surprise, a new Ghost Rider book.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of a reboot of a book that came out last year.
Right. The character they introduced, Robbie Reyes, who is going to be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. Surprise, surprise, is getting a book.
Yeah, no one was. It really wasn't surprising that he got a comic. As soon as they said he was going to be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Some people think it's really cool, but like you were saying, I said the art looked really cool. I really haven't read any Robbie Reyes stuff. Sorry.
You looked very excited when you looked at it.
It was pretty. It was really pretty.
Again, like, please go make new characters.
That's kind of what we're saying. So for long-term fans of Ghost Rider
characters,
it's kind of like, what's going on with this? This guy's in a car? Like, this isn't Ghost Rider at all.
And that's actually probably the biggest thing that I have with it. First of all, I don't like the design of the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. The face is like robotic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the deal is with that. And then he drives a Dodge Charger, which, cool car. But is he Ghost Rider or is he Ghost Racer?
Well, the original book was called...
That would have been a good name for it, Ghost Racer.
The book was called Ghost Racers.
No, that was the second book. That was the Marvel Battlegrounds book.
Right.
But Ghost Rider was
the first
before
one,
that.
right.
Yeah. Again, nothing against that. I hope there's fans that will have issues over at BSI Comics. I hope there's fans of it that want to buy it because we don't need to be stuck with however many issues of Ghost Rider #1. But
it might be awesome.
It might be. I won't read it, but
I will. I will absolutely read it.
Like you read the first one. Nah, but yeah, I don't know. I just get and Marvel's doing this thing now where they're splitting up. There's going to be 2 versions of every character. So, by the way, there may entirely be a second Ghost Rider title or another title where Ghost Rider's featured, but it's Johnny Blaze or Dan Ketch.
If they bring them into this book and you get
wasn't that what they did with Ghost Racers?
I'm not sure.
Well, I think all of the Ghost Riders were represented in there.
But those like the Battle World, Elseworld books, but in the main universe, it might be kind of cool to have this mentor student kind of thing, mentee.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of that though. Every main character has a double.
Remember
one younger, one older.
When Convergence came out, man, it seems like they're trying to please everyone, and you can't please everyone. You can't. The long-term fans, the old school fans are going to hate the new, fresh stuff. The people that like the new, fresh stuff don't want to read the old.
I just want it to feel organic. Like I feel like there was a natural reason to come out with Miles Morales.
Right.
I don't necessarily feel like there's a natural reason for Robbie Reyes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not bashing a book I haven't read.
We're not bashing. We're all friends here, pal.
Right? Are we? I don't know. You're about to get me sick. So moving on. Again, go buy Ghost Rider #1 when it comes out. But don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's straight garbage. Seriously. I got a whole. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so bad. It's so terrible.
It's a weird show because
it's a bad show.
It's not just one show. It's like 3 different shows mashed together, kind of.
I don't know what it is. It's a bad show.
Like season 1 was like, we're going to talk about this, and then season 2 is like, we're doing something different now, and season 3 is like, it's a completely different show every time.
Well, season 4 is supposed to be completely different. That's why they're bringing in Robbie Reyes,
and they're moving it at night too. So
anyway. So, Pajiba.com got a anonymous post. I'm not familiar with how Pajiba runs. I guess it's like a Reddit kind of, or something like that. I don't know. But someone anonymously posted an open letter to Kevin Suhara.
Vulture, so I'm not sure.
Well, Pajiba.com was the original place that it was posted. But, so this person claims to be a disgruntled ex-employee of Warner Brothers, and
not disgruntled. He said he loved the studio.
He's a pretty angry person.
He wasn't angry. Did you read the letter?
Read the statements.
Yeah, he said he wasn't angry. He loved the studio. He loved his time there, and he wants to see it return to glory.
Well, he seemed angry about what he was talking about.
Well, he was angry about that.
All right. Okay, so it's not an angry person, but it's a lovely person that had an angry comment.
I don't even know if it was an angry comment.
Oh, for God's sake! Come on.
It's pretty. Just hit the.
So his statement was pretty simple. A lot of people at Warner Brothers are losing their jobs because of Warner Brothers' DC slate of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, executive producers, and in particular Zack Snyder, keep getting rewarded for making terrible movies that don't do very well. Suicide Squad, we're still seeing it topped so it's 2 weeks in a row that it's made the most money. I don't know how much it made this weekend.
What? I mean,
it went up against Sausage Party. You were excited for Sausage Party.
I'm still excited for Sausage Party.
You're a big sausage fan in general.
I love Sausage Party.
But so I don't know how much it made this weekend, but it's still number one. But Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman both severely underperformed, and that's not a question of it's not about whether or not you liked it.
Right. We're just talking about
it did not make neither one of those movies made the amount of money they needed to make.
And more importantly than the amount, the drop off numbers were huge.
Which is a big deal, because here's the thing: like when people made a big deal about like Suicide Squad made 133 million first weekend, and we're in a situation now with movies where the second weekend is, I don't know to say more important than the first weekend, but certainly as important. Because the problem is the first weekend, when it comes to blockbusters like this, we know they're going to do big because they have pre-sales.
Right.
So these advanced pre-sales comes out before anyone's seen the movie. Well, then people start seeing the movie. And the reaction is either largely or mostly negative. Then the drop-off comes. Batman vs. Superman had a huge drop-off because only a percentage of people really liked it.
I mean, if you go see a movie and you're like, dude, not good.
Right.
I'm not going to be like, well, you know what? I'm going to go see it anyway. I'm going to go, you know what? I'll just maybe catch it.
Some people will, but it severely drops off the amount of people that are going to keep supporting those movies.
Right.
Which is common sense. I mean, yeah, if you tell me that you hated a movie, I'm like, oh.
Or if you really like something like Guardians of the Galaxy, I like so much, I think I took like 5 different groups of people to see it. I saw it 5 times in the theater.
Well, I think 21 Jump Street is a perfect example of that. That was a movie that I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks horrible. And then so many people were saying it was an amazing, like really, really funny movie that I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And I went to see it, and it's one of my favorite comedies in a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it works both ways, but in any case, so both of those movies severely underperformed. We'll see how Suicide Squad performs in the long run. So far, it's holding steady, somewhat.
I'm hearing kind of like the same things about the BVS. It was entertaining, but it wasn't a good movie.
It's a 50% movie.
Right.
It's like you got a certain amount of people that like it, but it's not a good enough movie to hold over large sections of people.
And getting back to what you were saying, lots of people are losing their job.
Right. Meanwhile, now David Ayer is a different story. This is his first movie with from this slate of films.
Right.
But Zack Snyder, he's going to be doing a third one. He directed Justice League, and he keeps getting these jobs. And the person's point is, why are my friends, very talented people who are just they don't have any say in what they're doing.
Right.
Zack Snyder says this is the art direction. The art team goes and does that. And people are like, the art direction's horrible in this, or the cinematography's horrible. The cinematographer gets fired. Yeah, that's a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. Meanwhile, Zack Snyder, again, on his third movie, that I saw the trailer. It's a much better trailer than Batman vs. Superman. Doesn't look that good, though. It actually just looks bizarre.
It doesn't have me hyped to go see it.
I will say this. I'm more willing to give Justice League a chance than I was Batman vs. Superman, but I'm not. There's nothing about it that really makes me think.
I don't want to get into a Marvel versus DC debate, but when you see that Marvel trailer, you're like, oh man,
right.
That is awesome. When you see that Doctor Strange trailer, you're like, whoa, this looks awesome. Mm-hmm. I watched the Justice League trailer and I was like, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of... No, we don't want to... That's a rabbit hole we don't need to get into. But so the person's point is, like, why do you keep giving the executives at the top more money and more jobs, and then you're firing good people who are just doing their jobs? And let's be clear, whether... I haven't seen Batman vs. Superman yet. You have. Mm-hmm. I will probably see it soon. I saw the trailer, though. Like, the cinematography, aside from being dark tones and stuff like that, the costume design, all that, the people who did their jobs did an amazing job.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the actors. I haven't seen Ben Affleck perform, but I like Ben Affleck. Everyone says that, can't think of her name, but Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, everyone says she did a great job. So clearly the problem is with the people who are writing the story and crafting the stories.
Right.
And those are the people that are keeping their jobs, and the people who did their jobs properly are losing them.
When do you start realizing the problem might be...
Right. And part of the person's letter was also saying, like, don't be fooled by the Wonder Woman trailer. Everyone who's seen it says that's a mess too. Now, this is where we get into a little dicey territory, because... we don't know who the person who wrote the letter is. We don't know if they were an actual, former employee who has actually seen or knows someone who's seen Wonder Woman, or if it's just somebody taking an educated guess.
But he made a pretty good analogy about donuts.
I didn't read that part.
You didn't read the part about donuts? He said, if I work at a donut stand and I keep effing up the donuts, I'm going to get fired.
Time to F the donuts.
Well, that's...
Sorry. But you get fired. No, it's...
And he said, even if I make a pretty good donut every now and again, if a majority of the donuts aren't good, I'm going to lose my job.
Right.
And he ended the letter with, time to make the effing donuts,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was kind of in the middle, and then he said his piece, and at the end it's like, so, Warner Brothers, time to make the effing donuts.
Right. The director of Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins, came out in response to the comments about Wonder Woman and said, absolutely not true. To which people rightly pointed out, what was she going to say?
Right.
Like, you got us. Wonder Woman. You're right. Wonder Woman's terrible. Don't see it.
And you go out to eat at a restaurant, you're like, is this good? And you wait for the waiter to be like, no, it's terrible.
I'm actually hopeful for Wonder Woman.
Who would ever say that?
I thought the trailer looked good. Again, I've heard good things about Gal Gadot. And for all the people who are like, Adam's a hater, and he just wants to hate it, you show me a good trailer, I'll go see it. That's the bottom line. Batman vs. Superman wasn't a good trailer. Suicide Squad, an entertaining trailer. I like the rock music that they put to it. But ultimately, not that interested. Justice League, again, weird. But Wonder Woman looked decent. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll be terrible. But I'll spend my money and I'll go see it.
My only concern is if Snyder is kind of like overseeing this stuff and has so much input, whoever's directing the movie might lose.
I feel like that's not a real problem because I feel like the biggest problem is that Warner Bros. Doesn't seem to have a whole lot of oversight. But you might be right. I don't know. I do think it's time for them to realize that the Zack and Deborah Snyder need to go. And they're not the only people. A lot of people. Well, I don't want to get into that. But again, different can of worms. But so yeah, that was interesting. That was probably the biggest news of the week, and had a lot of people talking. And I agree with everything the person said. I don't think someone who's doing a good job should lose their job because their boss is an idiot.
And, as much hate as there is for these things, we don't want to hate these movies. We love these characters. And
let me tell you something. If Justice League turns out to be amazing, I will take back everything I said. Well, not about Batman vs. Superman.
Especially nowadays, if I pay $25 to go to the movie, I don't want to leave going, oh, that was terrible. I knew it was going to be terrible.
Oh, I had a friend who just saw the movie Batman vs. Superman last week, and he's like, you're going to hate me. And I was like, what? And he says, I'm probably the only person that liked Batman vs. Superman. I was like, well, no, you're not. But number two, like, I don't want if you like a movie that I don't like, that's cool. I don't want you and your wife go spend $25 on a movie because I dislike it, you know? Like, if you liked it, cool, you got your money's worth, Anyway, so, last bit of news, Civil War, one of your favorite books on stands right now, is pushed back. Do we know how long?
About 3 weeks.
It was coming out bi-weekly for a while, wasn't it? It wasn't? Man, I thought it was coming out every 2 weeks. Okay.
Surprising. I was just praising it for being on time. I was like, man, they've really been hitting it with this. It's been out on time. It's been good, and not the end of the world.
We haven't heard the reason, though, right?
I'm guessing they're just late. There's no reason behind it.
Should have taken a pill. All right, let's end this with our recommendations. Do you want to go first?
Recommendations, yes. I have a book. I didn't really know what to expect from it. Lots of hype behind it, both artist and writer. And I was a little hesitant, especially with reading some of the other stuff recently that thought I was gonna like and didn't like as much. But I read it and really, really enjoyed All-Star Batman. Snyder returning to write Batman really, really nailed it. The story's awesome. It's basically going to be kind of like a road trip story outside of Gotham. And this is basically the Two-Face story that he wanted to tell that he didn't get to tell when he was writing the New 52 series. Only thing I will say, as much as I love Mr. Romita, I wish someone else was drawing this book.
And he's drawing half of it because there's two stories, right?
Right. The stuff in the back, the Shelby stuff, I enjoy. I think we talked a little bit about Duke's costume.
Duke Thomas, the future Robin, who currently does he even have a character like a superhero?
All it said is somebody said, "Is this the new Robin or whatever?" And he's like, "No, we're trying something different." So it's kind of like a.
I don't like that either because they really don't explain. Well, what does that mean? We're trying.
It's kind of like a combination of the Batwing costume and Robin costumes.
Yeah.
Kind of mashed up. But this Two-Face story is pretty awesome. I'm excited to see where this goes.
But seriously, change Duke Thomas's costume because it's terrible.
It is.
Actually, you could do with the bottom, but the mask is ridiculous. Because he's got like the double bat.
He looks like a baseball player from like 2035.
That's an interesting comment. So my recommendation is also a DC.
So I guess I'm done with my recommendation.
Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry.
So
no, go ahead.
You should check this out.
You made it seem like you were done.
Floor is yours.
Oh, come on. Finish your recommendation.
I'm done.
Sorry.
I'm done. That's it.
Alright. It's like I have
Snyder writes awesome Batman story. Surprise.
Anyway, my recommendation is also a DC book, Superwoman. A book that I was not going to pick up at all. Nothing against it, but just DC's been doing something weird where there's basically 5 different Superman characters right now.
There's too many characters across the board.
Right.
I mean, it's so saturated right
now.
now.
No, but seriously, there's Superman proper, the one that we grew up with, who now as a kid, he's sort of a Supermaker. He's Superboy. There's Supergirl. There's Lex Luthor Superman. There's the new Super Man.
Right.
And there's Superwoman. It's a lot of Superman characters. But I wasn't going to pick this up, and then I saw a very, very cool Terry Dodson / Rachel Dodson variant cover, and I was like, alright. Because I get suckered into the variant game too sometimes. So I bought it, and I read it, and very, very impressed with this. Very impressed. So basically, it's definitely got a Betty and Veronica thing going on. It's Lois Lane and Lana Lang teaming up. They're frenemies, whatever that term is that kids use now. They're not friends, but they have a rivalry, but they understand. They both want to respect their Clark Kent died. They want to respect his legacy. They hate the fact that Lex Luthor is running around as Superman, and they want people to have something to believe in again. Because I guess the Superman and the Action Comics and regular Superman titles, I guess he's not quite coming out to the world yet, or something like that. I'm not clear on that, but they don't trust him because they don't know him. They're like, who's this person pretending to be our Clark? Whatever. So essentially, when the New 52 Superman died, Lois Lane was exposed to the radiation from him sort of exploding.
Going supernova.
And it gave her powers, and I think that's how the new Superman got his powers as well. I'm not positive. But I could be. I didn't actually read that comic, sorry. But anyway, so it's got a Betty and Veronica thing going on. Lana Lang, I'm not familiar with the New 52 version, who's apparently like a super scientist.
Mm-hmm.
So Lois goes to her and says, look, I need somebody to train me, and you were Clark's only confidant for a very long time.
She credits her with basically giving Clark his...
Yeah, there's a weird thing where she explains that Lana trained Clark to use his powers, which there was a second where I was like, huh? And I was like, I guess that works. She
helped him to control him.
She understood super science, and there's some stuff in there about trying to explain certain things about how certain powers work. But anyway, great book, awesome art. It's I'm not really sure how it's working. There's a guy named Matt Santorelli that's supposedly the artist on this, and I think he is.
He's inking.
Oh, he's okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's writing and drawing the book.
I was very confused. Okay, Phil Jimenez. Okay, because if you look, the cover is typical Phil Jimenez art. The interiors are a lot more pared down and simplified, and I prefer that. You can tell it's Phil Jimenez, but I assume that Santorelli was doing layouts or something or something to that effect. But that makes more sense anyway. So sorry, Phil Jimenez, for not giving you the amount of credit.
I apologize for liking his art.
No, but I wrote a mini review where I credited Matt Santorelli with being the artist. To be fair, it said it on DC's page that Matt Santorelli was the artist.
I don't know how they have it broken up.
Anyway, well, it says he's the anchor. So, point is, great book. Seriously, check it out. There's been a lot of great DC Rebirth books. This was really a surprise to me.
A little controversy.
There's a controversy with the ending. Ignore it.
We don't need to talk about it.
It's probably not going to be what it appears to be. No, we're not going to talk about the spoilers.
It's another Captain America.
But for the record, if the ending is what it appears to be, totally respect that, and I'm still on board. So, and there's a lot of twists in this book. There's things you don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good '90s Superman, late '90s Superman reference that is the core of the book. It's kind of a joke and kind of not, but I very much appreciated it. Check it out. So, anything else we need to say?
I don't think so.
All right. I guess read more comics.
Definitely read more comics.
Peace.